Ugh. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I think that's all I know how to say so far.
That's it.
Good morning. Hello, everybody. I'm Tiffany. Welcome to my quilting life. We're going to have some breakfast today. It's called batiks. Have you ever had batiks for breakfast? Because I have, and it's good. Yeah, yummy. Super yummy. Purple, too. I mean, like the best color. Comes out just right. Yeah. Yeah. It's morning time. Sorry. Anyways, hello everybody. We are going to start a new pattern. But before I get to all that, let's see who is all here. Let's see. Whoa, that's a lot. All right, we got Jan, Vicky, Karen, Justine, Michelle. Wow, they've been talking a while in there. Norma, Gina, Judy, Polly, Karen, Marlene, and Quilt Fake, Debbie, Dawn, Bambi, Minnie, Cheryl, and so many more. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Don't mind the beautiful hair today. Scotty and I have beautiful hair because I went pippy. Tiffy went pippy. No, Scott and I have a date later today, and I wanted some curls. And the newest thing, well, it's not new, it's been out for a long time, but the newest thing for me is heatless curls. But I used it a couple weeks ago, and I came out looking like this. I just left them sticking out, and Scott goes, "You need to wear your hair like that more often." Oh, I like it. So I'm doing heatless curls, but I have to leave it in for a few hours to see if I have heatless curls by the time Scotty and I go out on our date later.
We
So
slept with it in last time.
yeah. So I'm just, a little tiffy pippy today. All right. So we are going to be starting a new pattern called Diamond Detour. If you type in exclamation mark, the explanation, the thing, and then pattern, all one word, no spaces, you'll get a link to Diamond Detour, which is the pattern we are starting, and we'll probably do it until it's done, obviously, here on the channel. It is a pattern by Sassafras Lane Designs, and for all of you that want to do this with me, I actually called in advance to make sure that they have plenty of patterns for you guys to purchase for those that want to sew along with me. And I will be using Evening Glow, Artesian Batik's Evening Glow by Robert Kaufman. We're going to take a look at the fabric. Here we go. Look at that. So that is Evening Glow, Artesian Batik's by Robert Kaufman. That is my array of color with some black background. Why? Because, batiks and black background are always the best. So that is what I'm going to be using. I looked online high and low. I only found one of these bundles on Etsy. So if you really want to do this same bundle as me with black background, I would hurry up and go over to Etsy because it's over on Etsy. Just type in Artesian Batik's Evening Glow by Robert Kaufman, and you'll get that because, that's what I'm using. Anyways, I never do this, but I slightly starched all the batiks and my fabric. So it's just slightly a little bit stiffer, only because we are working on the bias with the 60-degree diamonds. So to get started, we're going to start by cutting, and I'm going to go ahead and just undo my beautiful purple batik breakfast here and move it out of the way so that I can start cutting the black fabric first, the background. I am making the venti size. So on the pattern, there's there's 3 sizes. Well, I don't have the pattern next to me. There's a tall size, which is like 33, by 45. There's a grande, which is 58 by 77, and a venti size, which is 84 by 99. I am doing the venti size, which is 84 by 99. And I'm also, because you guys know me and I like my borders, I'm also, by the time I get all this situated and the whole top together, this part, I'm actually going to add borders too. I'll add another layer of black, as well as I will take one of my favorite purple batiks that I have in my stash and cut a big border for it. That way it's ensured that this is queen size and it has a nice hangover. All right, so I'm going to start cutting fabric, and this may take a little bit because we are cutting 60-degree diamonds, but I decided to save the cutting. I was going to pre-cut this project, but I decided to save the cutting for you guys, so I'm going to put the camera in front of the cutting mat. That way you guys can watch cutting 60-degree diamonds, but I also cannot give you the measurements. It is not my pattern, so you have to go buy the pattern for that. But I cannot give you the cutting instructions. I mean, the cutting numbers. I can show you how to do it though. So I'm going to go ahead now and put the camera where it's facing the cutting mat.
This side or that side?
No, just that side right there. I'm going to do it because I want it in a certain spot.
Okay.
All right. That way you guys can see. Here we go. Camera's moving right here. And you guys are going to just watch me cut for a little bit till it's all chopped up and ready. There are beautiful cutting instructions on this pattern. I chose it because it's simple and easy to follow. All right, I had to take a drink of water real quick. The first thing I am going to do is I'm going to cut myself a nice straight line on my fabric. Make sure that my folded is on a line right here, and my other end is crossing over said line on this side. Everything's nice and square, and I'm going to use my slide lock ruler to make my first cut that I got from Quilts. There is a link in the description, or in the description, not the description, in the links for this in the chat. All right. I use it for my first cut, but for the rest of the cuts, I'm just going to set it aside and use my Quilter Select because I like to do the numbers. So I'm going to go ahead and start cutting them. All right. So I mark it with a pencil on my pattern so that I know that's the one I'm cutting. I'm going to make sure twice, measuring it twice. Okay. I can't give you the numbers, but it's easy to cut. And I'm just counting out how many I need of each. I'm going to have to undo and for the next number. Yikes. Okay. And then this will be this one. I need one more of this size. And then we'll stack them up and out of the way because we're going to cut all the strips first and then set aside and then cut all the subcuts. And that way I could show you guys how to do the 60-degree cuts. All right, so I'm going to reline these two edges back up. I needed a lot of yardage here for this. For the size that I'm making, it literally needed like 5 1/4 yards of background. So I'm just re-straightening it back out for the next bazillion cuts that I got to do. Because there's so many of them. All right. I'm just going to fold this up now. Make it nice and straight. Roll this. I like to cut 2 pieces at a time, if that makes any sense. So I'm getting 2 cuts every time I cut because it is folded on top of itself. So that way I can get 2 cuts per. And that decided to knock itself off. Go figure. Yesterday I had Scott to help me line all this up. Let's just put it right there. There we go. We'll keep it over there. I'll just pull it over as needed and re-straighten it as needed. All right, my next number is, here we go. I need to reline these 2 back up because I did mess around and get it a little funky. It's a good thing I cut a little bit more than I needed yardage wise. I cut like 5.5 yards, I think, just so that I'd be on the safe side. All right, what was that number again? All right, here we go. I'm going to turn my ruler because it's a whole number, and we're going to cut a lot of these because I'm doing the big one. So make sure you pay attention for the size that you're doing. Here.
Did you ever quilt the Christmas panel?
Did I ever quilt the Christmas panel? I did quilt a Christmas panel quilt, and got rid of it at Christmas time. Come on, move out of my way. Thank you. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stack these. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 so far. Bring this over here because I got to re-straighten it back up again. Can you remember that number, Scotty?
What?
8.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
Oh, everything's still lined up. Good, 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 good. All right. Let's do that again. All right, that makes 10. Now we have to do that all over again.
I'm only remembering 8 numbers.
Okay, remember 10.
Oh, 10.
This is a lot. I feel like this is a lot. I'm making a giant quilt. I need a lot of this.
You're making the venti.
That's 16 now is the new number. Okay, straighten this back out again. All right, cut some more. All right, that is how many strips I needed for that number. So now to the next number. Slide this over. Well, I have 20 now. That's my magic number was 20. Yep.
Mine's the new number for me to remember.
No, you don't need to remember it now. All right. All right, here we go with the next number. I need Hold on. Where's that number at on my ruler? Right here. Okay, good. And then open it up. Cut one more of that size. That would be this one right here. All right. So that size is now cut, and now I need another size. Literally. Whee. Just going to open the last of this up and cut. Okay. Turn the ruler around. That's what I love about this ruler. All right. How many again? What size is that? Okay. It's this size right here. I love this ruler because it has half on one side, and if you flip it around, it's whole. And it's marked both ways so that you can see it. And one more. Oh yeah, that leaves me plenty to put a border. Huh? There might be. Look on the chart.
No, there's not on the chart.
Oh. I don't know where you can buy the Quilter Select ruler at the moment. I got to think about that one. Oh yeah. I don't know who all sells it. You'd have to go on to my affiliate links and look. All right, I'm going to move that out of the way now. And we are going to subcut. Oops, let's move that. We are going to subcut now those pieces. So we're going to start with the first ones, which are these. Now we're doing 60 degree. So what I'm going to do here is show you the different ways that you can do it. So here we have, I'm just going to do 2 strips at a time. I have a 60 degree diamond ruler. I have a 60 degree equilateral triangle. And I also have a So Easy laser cut 60 degree large triangle. Okay. This is one way to do it. I'm going to put the large triangle on here. I'm going to put it down to the tip of this selvage right here. Just like this. I'm going to put a line on here on the mat. Oops. And make my first cut. From there, I don't actually need that ruler. I just need a different ruler. So I'm going to go ahead now and just line this up because now it's 60. Line that up on the straight, just like this. And I just keep cutting along that edge until all of my cuts have been made. I'll get one more, just like that. Move that out of the way. So I have all those done using the big one. Now, if you only have a little one, it's the same exact thing. I'm going to move this out of the way, grab 2 more strips. Gonna line them up nice and straight. And here's just using a actual diamond shaped ruler. You're gonna lay one of the diamond flat sides, so that flat side, on your fabric along the edge like this. You're gonna put your point right at the tip of the selvage, just like that. Hold it. Make your first cut. Move it out of the way, and the next cuts from there on, again, are a different ruler. So it's like more than one ruler every single time. I just keep cutting until it is all cut up. And then get one more. There. Okay. So now all these are cut. Oops. Now let's take two more. Line them up. Now we've already done that triangle, and if you only have this little equilateral triangle, it's going to be the same as that big one, except this one has a flush mark on the top of it. The other one was pointed. It really doesn't matter because it's just for the first cut. So again, I'm just going to line it up on a line, which is on the edge of the fabric, and make that first cut. Toss that out of the way, grab another ruler, and literally same exact procedure, cutting them just like this. Mm-hmm. Now, what if you don't have any of those rulers, but you do have a straight ruler and a cutting mat? Ooh, this one didn't get that last because I cut it. All right, so let's cut two more. I'm going to line them up. Now, if you do not have any of these shapes, a 60-degree triangle, but you have your cutting mat. Your cutting mat should right here on the sides have a 60, a 45, and a 30. Take your fabric, line it up on a line on your cutting mat, and cross over the selvage on that 60-degree marking on your cutting mat. Make sure it stays on a line, okay? And make sure that the selvage is beyond, here's my 60 right here. Make sure your selvage is beyond that 60. Then take your ruler and line it up on the 60 on your cutting mat. Literally, just like that. Now I'm going to show you, just because I cut it with a regular triangle, look at that. It's exactly what it needs to be. So if you don't have any of those fancy rulers, you can use the lines. Just make sure that your selvage is beyond the line that you need to cut, and whatever size diamond or whatever you're cutting is past that line. And then you just take your ruler and cut the rest of the way again. I need a lot of these triangles, these diamonds. And I don't think I'm going to get one more out of that one. How did I get them all on the other ones? I don't know, but it made it, so I guess that works. All right, one more left to cut. And again, I'm just going to use the markings that are on the cutting mat itself, just because you guys need to see that again. Lining it up on the 60, my selvage is beyond that. Right here, lined it up, make the cut, and then the rest of the cuts just fall in after. So you can actually move your piece a bazillion times. The rest of your cuts are exactly the same. What if you don't have that either? They do have, this ruler doesn't have it, this one only has 45, but some of these rulers have a 60, a 45, and a 30 on them. So you can actually line that up on your piece to start with. Line up your 60 would have been this one right here. This one? Yeah. 60 right here on the line, just like this. So your 60-degree line is literally along the fabric. I would have to go the other way because that would have been the first cut, but you can see right here. So you can make parallelograms out of this, and so on and so forth. So just know your mat and your rotary cutters, your rulers have markings on them. Not all rulers have the 60, the 30, and the 45. Some just have 45. So I just wanted to make sure that I showed you guys this because, oh, I can't get another one out of that. So hopefully this is the amount I needed. Look at all those. So there's my 60-degree diamonds. Now we're going to move these rulers out of the way because we need a regular ruler, and we're going to make fat quarter stacks because the pattern is very, very easy here. It is literally the same cut from all 24. For me, I have 24. From all 24 fat quarters are all getting the same exact cut. So I'm just going to take them by stacks of, I don't know how many this is, but I'm just going to take them in stacks like this. And then move the rest out of the way. And then I'll just keep coming back and grabbing stacks. I'm going to line up all my salvages. These ones are actually straight cuts, but we're going to be using rulers when we go to piece this to trim off the edges. So I'm lining up all the salvages, and then I'm going to shake them out so that they're all flat. And you can see, look how wonky these are. So wonky.
Yeah.
So wonky. So I'm going to go ahead and straighten out one side. I'm going to make sure that I'm getting all, look at this. It's way wonky. I don't like it when they are way, way wonky. Okay, I got that one in there. We're going to go right here. We're going to know that my selvage is the straightest right here. So I'm going to line my ruler line up on the selvage. I'm going to make sure that I'm cutting every single piece. Whew. And look at that. Look at all that waste. These ones aren't usable, but this one is usable. Well, most of it is. I'm going to turn the whole entire thing around. And let's see what these cuts are. Okay. There is on this pattern, and I can show you this part real quick without showing you the instructions. Let's see if I can fold it. Anyway, I'm just going to cover this right here. There is a chart on here that shows how to cut your fat quarter. If you're using 10-inch squares, there is a chart for 10-inch squares. And if you're using quarter yard cuts, there is a quarter yard cut chart. Don't show this right here, but just show these. So there, yeah, not the pattern part, please. But that's what the chart shows. It makes it easy to follow along. So I'm going to go ahead now to make this easy on myself because my fat quarters were wonky. I'm actually going to start with one of my numbers along the 21, which is my straight side, and I'm going to go ahead and cut that number off first to ensure that I'm getting the right cuts from here, because if not, hold on, I got to make sure that, yeah, this is my venti one. Yeah, that's the one with my pencil marks. I'm going to ensure that I'm getting this cut. So I'm going to make sure what the number is. And I'm going to cut that first from my straight side that I just made. And I'm going to move that out of the way. Then I'm going to go to my next numbers are cut this way. So I need to straighten my top or my bottom. So the selvage was my straightest part. I'm going to use the straight line here and line this up, cut the selvages off all at the same exact time. Okay. And then I'm going to go to my next number, which is, got to look at my chart. One is my cutting instructions and one is my chart. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, here we go. Oh, that number's not, yeah, I can do that. Here we go. So I'm going to make 5 of these. Yeah. 5 of these cuts right here. then we'll just repeat with the rest of the fat quarters until it's all cut up. 3, 4, and 5. And then from the bottom, I'm going to cut. All right, here we go. My strips that are this size. That out of the way. Get the next number. And here is my waist, which is some strings. And guess what I can do with this another day? I could totally make something else. Because I'm gonna have 24 strings. Oops, let me reline this back up because it got moved. All right, so I'm gonna move those out of the way. I'm gonna subcut these. Subcut these. Okay, so let me subcut all this now. I'm gonna line it all up because I'm gonna cut them all at the same exact time, making sure everything is the right size that it needs to be. Okay, it's all on the line, all on the line. Now we just need the ruler back and look at the, all right, here we go. Oh, that number is not even on here. Let me count. So right here. Sometimes you have to use your cutting mat for your number. Oops, these kind of moved. Now for the next number, I guess I'll just, oop, I knew that was going to happen. See, everything's like moving on me. Slide these out of the way. Slide that right back there. Just leave this nice and straight and cut right here. And all this is waste. I hate to waste that much purple. All right. I'm going to go ahead and make myself some stacks here because I totally want to keep these in order because I'm going to be chain piecing this project in order. No, I'm good. And then we're going to cut those ones next. These are my scraps. We'll keep over there. And then take these ones and put them here. And then we're going to take these and cut these to that other number, which I'm going to use a smaller ruler for. Okay. I'm going to reline these back up right here. I'm going to come over right here. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4. Only one of these. And then this one is a different number. All right. These I can save for my 1-inch bin. Those are not 1 inch though. I save anything 1 inches or bigger. Okay, so here's my next numbers. So we're going to try to keep those together. And those together. And then we're going to get another pile over there because now we need to cut some more of these. Which the straight side was what side? Oh, this wasn't even cut from a straight side. So technically, That's right, I cut this off before anything. So cut the selvage off and then carefully turn it around and then cut my number. How many do I need? And one more. Okay. I'm going to move these aside so that I can do all of my stacking. And this is now my scrap pile for whatever scrappy project I want to do. And then I'm going to move these out of the way completely. Oh, yeah. So the next color will be going on top. I'm trying to keep these in order the way I put them. Don't mind me, my friends. I want to keep everything in order because I'm going to chain piece this whole entire project. And obviously, I will show you how as well. I definitely like to find every way I can to chain piece. And if I keep everything in order the way I wanted it, then I can chain piece it in order the way I wanted it. So now I'm going to grab some more fat quarters and do the same thing again. We're going to cut it facing this way because that was the bottom. And what I'm going to do is line these selvages up really nicely. And then I'm going to hold it up, straighten it out. That way I have a nice straight everything. We still have to cut the black background still too some more, but I wanted to get these done because this is probably the most of my cutting here is all of these. All right, straighten it out, smooth it out. I'm going to cut one side off first, make it nice and straight. Make sure that I'm getting all the layers. I come over a little. I think that's all the layers. Yep, it looks like all the layers. I have it straightened on the selvage. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, because I have 6 layers here. I'm also just, while I'm here, going to cut the selvage off just to, that way that part's actually just done and out of the way. So I'm going to line up a line on my straight right here. Cut that off. Okay. Now I'm going to turn the whole thing around. And from my straight side, I'm going to cut my first number real quick. I'm going to go ahead while I'm right here and subcut this to the size that this one needs to be. All right, that goes with my scraps over there. And then these go on top of these pile over here. Okay, now for the next cut, just gonna go ahead and turn it this way. Oh wait, which way was it again? No, it is this way already. I'm already losing my, brain. It's morning time. All right, here we go. Let's cut these now. Oy, oy, oy. more. And then for my other number, one more. Here's my lovely scraps. That one can't be used, but the rest can. Okay. Move those out of the way. Turn these to subcut. Lining it up on a line. Okay. Oops, right there. Come on, right there. And one gets a different number, and one gets a bigger number. Garbage, little pieces, place on pile, place on piles. There. Now to cut these, I'm just going to do 2 at a time real quick because it's literally all they want to do is shift and move, you know? We'll do 2 right here. And that first number is not on my mat. Right? Let me make sure by making sure my number is whatever it is. And right here. Okay. That goes over there. These go on this pile. Oh, wait. Yeah. Okay. Let's cut the last 3. Gonna line it up on a line. It's a lot of cutting here, my friends, but we will get it done. Here. Like I said, easy to follow directions. These there, and there. Oh, that's fine. All right, next stack. I'm going to turn it this way because I want that lighter purple on the downside. Going to line up all the selvages again because I didn't pre-do that in advance because I folded this all out so that you guys could see all the pretty colors nicely.
It is pretty.
I definitely love this bundle. It took a long time for me to decide to cut this bundle up because I've had it a couple years, and yeah, I'm like, oh, you know. But this will be a very beautiful quilt now that I decided to cut it up and decided what pattern I wanted to use with it, because that choice took a long time to decide. And one more. All right, I'm just gonna shake it out real quick. Lay it back down. Smooth it out. I'm going to cut one side off first, making sure that I'm getting all my pieces. Looks like I am there. And where is that piece? On this one. No. Aha, it's the third one down. 1, 2, where is it at on this? Oh, it is there. Okay. Man, these are so wonky. Wonky. And I got all the pieces. I'm pretty sure of it. 1, 2, 3. Nope, I missed a piece. Yep. Got to go over just a smidge more. Literally. Now it should all be gotten. Yep, and yep. Okay. Now to cut the selvage off. I'm just going to line that up. Here instead. There we go. Then I'm going to go ahead and cut the first number off of here on the straight side, the long side. Okay, that happened. It's within the seam allowance. One of the pieces was folded under there, and it cut it wonky. So sometimes that happens. The piece folded under there, and I'm going to subcut these real quick. I'm just going to go ahead. It's going to be within the seam allowance. It's less than 1/8 of an inch, but I'm still going to use the piece. 2, 3, and 4 off of that. Throw that over there. Put these over here. 4. And now we're going to cut that other number this way. So I'm kind of curious to know, I can't see the chat, but Scotty can. How many of you plan to do this? Because this is going to be a beautiful quilt. You don't have to do the colors that I'm doing, and you don't have to use batiks, but I'm just kind of curious to know how many of you think that you want to do this too. Ooh, this worked out perfect, actually. I could slide that piece down a smidge. All right, there's those. Slide those out of the way. We're going to just carefully slide the piece that got messed up down. Beyond that, I'm going to re-straighten that edge because I had plenty of room to do so. There we go. That worked out perfect. I don't have to worry about putting that in the seam allowance. I just cut my number off of here. And one more. Come on. And then those are my scraps. All right. I'm going to subcut these first. I'm just going to leave that like that for a second. What was that number again? Okay. Okay, 3 of those. Garbage that. So far, 5 of you. Awesome. And then 2 off of this one. and one of the other number. Right. We are making the double diamond for those that are just joining in. Is that what it's called? I mean, diamond detour. I knew it was something diamond. All right. Let's see if this. Look at that. Just straighten them out like that. Oh, yeah. That number is not on my cutting mat. I mean, not on my ruler. So let's line that up right there. They're all on a line. Ta-da! I'm going to cut them all at the same time. Right here. There we go. Line that ruler up on the line. Keep these all nice. I chose it. This is a pattern that I chose to do on my own. I bought it specifically for these batiks from the link that you guys will find in the chat or in the description below this video if you're watching after the fact. I didn't want to move my pieces too far, my friends, so that's why I'm doing what I'm doing right here. I'll organize those later. I'm just going to throw them to the side. All right. I don't know how many stacks I have left to cut. Probably maybe one. And then I have to cut the background still. Yeah, I'm going to cut this many layers. Screw it. Sometimes I just want to get things done. It feels like it's taking forever, you know? But it really isn't. Yeah. So cutting is so far not even a full hour. All right, so I'm just going to straighten these salvages up. Then I'll shake them and smooth them out. Oh, these are such beautiful fabrics. There's one in here that's giant floral purple flowers. Oh, so beautiful with the blue in it. Okay, that's this one actually right here. This one, blue, green, and purple. Oh, so pretty. All right, lay it back down just like this. Cut one side, then the other. Make sure that I'm getting all of these at the bottom and at the top now because the other one didn't get the other way. More because I have plenty on these ones.
I love black, but I have such a hard time seeing it when sewing. Do you have any hints?
Black, seeing it. Love the color black, but have hard time seeing it when sewing. I have a hard time seeing it with the markings because most rulers are black markings. So that's the part I struggle with. But seeing it when sewing, I don't know. I don't have any tips for that, honestly, because wouldn't know. I see mine just fine because it's under the light at the sewing machine. Cutting is the part that I struggle with because I cannot see the lines on a typical ruler because they're black. That's why I use my Missouri Star ones often because see how it shows up? It shows up super clear. So because of the highlighted color. That's the only thing I would change about a lot of these rulers, you know, even if it was a white ruler with black lines, you can't see that at all. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and cut off that first number. Turn this very carefully back. Cut that first number off. Then I'll subcut it. Just stay that way right there. Let's go ahead and cut that first number, which is, what was it again? All right. here. And again, I can't give these measurements out loud because it's not my pattern. You need to go purchase the pattern for that. And everybody that purchased the pattern, it actually helps my channel just a little bit. All right. That over there. These on this. And then we're going to cut that next number. That out of the way. Slide this down. It's on a line on the mat. Let me make sure one more time because I'm using the mat for some of the cuts. Just try to keep that nice and straight. Okay. Right there. 2. 3. Technically, with everything that I've cut out now, I can cut the next set out at another time because technically these are the parts to make the blocks. The other parts are all the background fill. All right, to the next number. More. I definitely always have to move the piece out of the way because it drives me nuts with the dark colors that I can't see my cut. So I have to move it because I don't do math very fast in my head. Oops, that one went array up there. That never happens with this ruler, but it did. Okay, that goes with my scraps over there. Trim this down. And all of these. I'm going to line these up back on a line. Go ahead and subcut these. Very carefully, like. Oh, I can't do it that way. But I can do it this way. Oh, which one did I do? Okay. And this one's the other number. Okay. There. Here. There. And that. Okay. Now to subcut the other ones. Again, it's not a number that's on my ruler. So I have to use my cutting mat. Which the only thing I don't like about this ruler, these Quilter Select, I love it because the fabric doesn't move underneath it. But I don't like that you can't slide it on the fabric at all to get it to the number you're looking for. Okay. Number uno, slide out of the way, and numero dos. There. Okay. All of my fat quarters are finally cut. Now I just need to do the black real quick, and then we can get started.
Is there any type of quilting you do not ever want to do?
Any type of quilting that I don't ever want to do, like quilting as in long arm quilting, or quilting as in of a quilt to make? kind of curious. I'm going to clean my board real quick before I put the black on here, because the black picks up everything. There's tons of little pieces here.
Too many.
Well, I want to make a double wedding ring. I haven't done it yet because I have a feeling that it's too hard for me. Even though I know it's not too hard for me because I've made a Mariner's Compass star. So I'm not 100% on, whether I want to, but it's probably something I will never get to, even though I have all the stuff to do it. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Like I have everything I need for it. I just haven't done it. Ay, 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 Okay, now to cut my black backgrounds into, there's a chart for that too. So I'm going to go to the page 1 for that. And then we're going to grab, I don't have that measurement on these rulers either. So we're going to grab a different ruler again for the measurement.
What makes the pattern so difficult? The double wedding ring.
I think it's putting everything together on the curve, on the bias. All right, let's do 3 pieces at a time. That way it goes faster. That's 6 layers. All right, again, you can use your cutting mat or you can use a ruler. Can I have that big one again? Thank you. Yep.
Have you ever done a clamshell pattern quilt?
I have not done a clamshell. I've quilted clamshells, but I have not made a clamshell patterned quilt yet. All right, I'm going to start by lining my 60 on here at the selvage and at making sure that the line is on a line, or that the, straight part is on a line. I'm going to go ahead and make cut number 1. And then we're making diamonds, so I need, hold on, what one is this again? That was how many pieces? Okay, there we go. This was B. So I'm going to turn this way and look for my magic number. Lining it up on the line. And you can see my 60. So here's where that works out perfect so that my 60 runs right here. So that 60 and my magic number are running 2 and 2 with each other. So I know that this is going to be a nice and straight piece. Just like that. This is why there's so many cuts here, because you only get 2 per. It has you opening the strip, but I'm not opening the strip because I'm not caring about mirrored images or not. So I'm supposed to get how many per? 1, 2. Oh, yeah, they have you opening it and doing 1 more because they have you cutting them open. So I'm going to get 1 more off of here to have my amount that I actually need. So this is where Scott and the iron will come into play. I'm going to have him iron these.
Ooh,
Hold on, we're going to just make sure that I'm going to get 1 more from there. Oh, yeah, I do. Okay. Yeah, all these need to end up flat. You don't have to do it right this very second, though.
There's no room up there.
No, because there's no room up there. But eventually they need to get done. For now, I'm just going to make the cuts. All right, just stacking them all up.
Show my new 99-cent store iron.
Scotty's showing you guys his new 99-cent store iron. The 99-cent store closed, so he got it for cheaper than the $9.99 they had it there for.
Oh, yeah.
And he likes his new iron because it only weighs like 2 ounces, if
Well,
that.
it's not that. It doesn't have any fancy
It has no
nonsense.
fancy nonsense. He doesn't want irons that have gadgets and so on and so forth. He likes plain, boring irons, which I do too. I don't mind it, but
Yes, it weighs like 4 ounces. So
literally,
because she can throw it around the room.
Yeah.
I can throw it at Scott and it won't hurt him because it's that lightweight. Unless the point hits him, maybe. Maybe I'll hurt him. But you know. All right. That's my magic number. Yeah, I didn't open the strips up like the pattern says to do. So, you know, I'm just going to have Scott, you know, do the pressing of these. And I'll lay them here for him to do later. I'm not worried about it right now because we don't need the pieces right now because we have a lot of piecing to do anyway. So I'm just going to go ahead and stack all these up. Okay, let's do some more. This whole 2 ruler thing, I've got all these rulers out. I swear. You know, just a lot of things are pulled out for one project. Normally, I don't need all this stuff. It doesn't matter where on this that I line this up as long as you line it on a line. Because the whole entire thing is a 60-degree angle, by the way. Just in case you were, like, curious about that. Okay, got that. Line up my magic number, line up that marking, blah, blah, blah. You guys get the deal here. This is why I added starch to all of my fabric also, which I never do, but since this is on the bias, which means for those that are beginners, bias means it's an angle cut, and look at how much that stretches. But right here is the straight, that barely stretches. So you can see that a little bit of starch, and I was pulling on that, by the way. A little bit of starch keeps it from stretching too much because it's a little bit more crisp. I don't usually do it, like I said, but I'm kind of recommending it for these kind of projects here. Because when we go to put all those straight cuts that we made just now off of the fat quarters together, once we put those together, those are also going to be cut on diagonals. So they will also start to stretch. All right, line that up. Ruler numero uno. All right. Here. Make a cut. Step the piece out of my way. Move the ruler out of the way. Go to the magic number. You know, 2 rulers over and over again. It's a lot of work. And one more. Up. Oh, look at that. Such a beautiful cut right there. And then open these up so that Scott can press them later so that I can get more cuts because I need however many of these pieces. 100 and something of them. No. No, you if you were using 10-inch squares on the Venti, I think it's like 117 squares total. All right, let's cut some more. Why does it feel like I've already cut the amount that I needed to cut off of these? Seems like a lot already, but probably isn't all the way. Might not even have to press those later because this might be the amount I need. Just doing this. 3.
Using up all this black, tell them where you're going later.
Yeah, we're gonna go shopping to get more black because I have almost used up all of my black fabric. This has put me into I don't have much black anymore. So Scotty and I are gonna go shopping later after our date or before our date. I don't even know which one, but however it works out, and go get me some more fabric, black fabric, because I need black for more projects. I use more black and white than anything. Like we bought a whole bolt of cream. It's a 25-yard bolt. And guess what? I've only probably used like maybe 8 yards on it. But my black, I have maybe on a 25-yard bolt, I have maybe, I don't know, 2.5, 3 yards left on it. That goes to show how much black I use. Same with the white. The white has a little bit more than the black because I use more black than anything. And the funny thing is a lot of my clients that come to me to have quilts made for them, they want black backgrounds as well. It's more, I guess it's a more modern color because black goes with everything to have on their beds, you know.
What brand is your magnetic seam guide?
My magnetic seam guide is a no-name brand, and
It was just from Walmart, right?
yeah, we got it at Walmart. They sell it at Fat Quarter Shop, so if you go to my link at Fat Quarter Shop, you can get it there. Pretty sure the other links have it too, but it's the same price everywhere, so. All right, stack these, that, and this. All right, I'm just gonna cut both these piles. Come on, I just need to see that red line. One, and again, let's do this one. Okay, I don't need that for a moment, but I do need this. 60, line up my magic number. Oops, is that my magic number? No, that's not my magic number. That, shit. Oops, sorry, said a bad word. I was on the wrong side of my ruler. Technically, that's my magic number. I cut it a little bit bigger accidentally. I knew that looked weird. That's okay. I just wasted a little tiny bit of fabric. I don't know how I go through all that black fabric. No, I'm just kidding.
Those are folded, so you're not technically cutting 2, you're cutting 4, right?
Yeah. Yep, so this should be the last of it. I shouldn't have to cut any of these, but I'm going to put them in a pile because I can do whatever with them later. Yep, they're folded in half, so I'm getting 4 cuts, or 2 per, so this will be the last of it. I think I should have plenty of pieces, and if I have leftovers, I will use them for my scraps, and I can build some star units with my scraps. Oh, is that my, okay, it was my magic number. Yeah, because I can just build around them with the scraps left over from this and make some stars. And all I have to do is get a setting triangle piece. All right, so this should be plenty. I said I needed a certain amount of them, so. All right, 2 more things to cut, and that would be the triangles, which I need the triangle ruler for now, for every cut on that one. So we're going to cut the next number. How many of these do I need? Oh, and I need to keep my ends. So I'm going to cut all of these at the same exact time. So I'm going to go ahead and line it up. And then I'm going to make my first cut, but I'm going to make it in just a little bit because I am using the end for things. I need it to be, because there is a not a diagram, but a template here. There's a template on this, and I don't need the template because I have the rulers, but we're going to cut these now as long as I have enough for my pieces. So there's that. Flip ruler to other side. Line it up. Line it up on my line. Flip ruler to other side. Since I'm using a solid, there is no right and wrong side, so everything will be the correct direction that it needs to be. And flip ruler around for this one. And then I need to save the next ends because I need both ends for my template. But I only need how many of them? 2A and 2B. Well, technically I'm using black, so it's okay. I will have 2A and 2B right here. So I'm going to go ahead and line that up and make my cut from my not so template. Just going to line up my ruler on that. Let's straighten it back out. Don't let it get all messy. I have straight lines as well on here to line up across the bottom. My end cut. And there will be my pieces for that. Here's my triangles. And I don't need these ends, so I'll put this out of the way. And that right there can be garbage. And then my last one to cut is, it has you opening the whole entire thing. But it says to cut it on the fold. I need 16. That's probably why there's as many pieces as there is. I'm going to straighten these out. And it says to cut it on the fold. So I'm going to do some weird stuff by only stacking 2 layers because I'm not sure how this is going to work, but we're going to make it work. So it has the long template. What did I say my template was? It was right here. That's what it was. It was on this line. So now I just need to put it on this side first because I'm looking at this chart. So I need it on this side first. And how big does it need to be? It needs to go to template B. Hold on, I'm going to look at my template B real quick, guys, and see what it is marking wise on my. Okay. Here we go. We're going to go to right here. Oh, let's cut the selvage off first. That would be a smart thing to do. All right. That way I have my number that I can line it up on the line right there. Just like this. Okay. And then my next one will get lined up right here on this line, and I'm going to put the point right here. So I'm going to put this, on the point right there. Just like that, just like that. Oh, yeah, here we go. And make this strange cut just like this. Look at that, yay. And then I'm going to do that again, laying it on this side right here. Oh yeah, look at that. I'm so good at this. And then it's straightened up on a line. The point is at the point. Making my cuts for my sides. And I needed how many of those? Let's find my pattern page again. I needed 16 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. And then that second strip is going to give me my 16. Look at that. I'm such a good cutter.
Your first piece in quilt.
My first piece quilt was sheets that I chopped up and millions of pieces and then re-sewed them back together. That's the first thing I ever made. I just took sheets and cut a bunch of squares out of it. It was geometric sheets too, so it created a design off of it. All right, so I'm going to line up my magic number real quick right here. This is the 60-degree triangle, and I'm actually making this bottom D. So look at the bottom, it's D. I'm making these big triangle side setting things. But I'm doing it my way by lining up the center. See, this has lines both directions, up and down and side to side. So I'm literally putting the point of my template at the point where I just ended, right there, and then lining up my straight line right here with the template, and then cutting it to create that shape without, it says to do it on the fold, but why fold it and cut it? Just like this would have been folding it when I just got that same shape using the 60 on the ruler. So I'm just, now I got to switch it to this side. Oops. We're going to go this way. No. Yeah, it doesn't really matter technically as long as the point comes out right here. So slide that up, lining my straight line right here. Yep, and then my point is at this edge. And I just got that wonky-fied. Just need to trim that end real quick because it went. That ruler does not want to stay straight right there. The other way was better, but I don't remember how I did it, so that's how it's done.
That's a mess there.
I made a mess.
Your little cleaner thingy.
I made a mess.
There you go.
All right. So those are now all cut. These are now whatever. But see, look, this was on the fold almost. This isn't fully square. But look, it makes another piece. But I already got my pieces I need, so I don't need the ones from the fold. Unless I need to recut something, but at least I have fabric to recut if I need.
Do you still have that first piece of quilt to show them?
No, my son has my first quilt. My second quilt is here. I still have my second quilt that I ever made here. The second
said
one's
you made
pieced.
with sheet.
Everything is pieced.
You said you made with sheet.
Yeah, everything is
That's
pieced.
the one that Damon has?
Yeah, that's the one that Damon has. Yep. All right, I'm done with these rulers. Everything is cut. It is now time to sew. So it took, what, an hour and 12, an hour and 7 minutes or so to cut all that up.
A little over an hour.
Yep, a little over an hour. All right. That ruler can go over there. Now it's time to piece. So we're going to put the camera back, and I'm actually going to put it in a position that you guys can see the piecing, but
You're gonna move it over
no, I'm going to keep it on this back side. We're going to come over here. I don't want it in my way is the problem. We're going to put it right there so that you can see my mess and the piecing. All right, let's put this over here. And we're going to start by, this is how this works for me. I'm going to take this stack right here. Can you see right here still on the camera? Yeah, you can. Take this stack, and I'm going to lay my pieces out the way they're going in the construction here. I just need to open the construction pages right there in front of me so that I can see them. A is, which one is A?
One with an A on it.
Mm-hmm. So this is not A. This is A, right? I'm going to make sure real quick. Strip B, fourth line. Oh, A. So this is A right here. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead now and stack these all up because I'm chain piecing. And we're going to just separate just one only, just so that you can see one block come together. All right, so here is A, and then these are B. All right, and that's going to go on after, right here. And then these will be C. Okay, and then those will be there. And these are D. Okay. And it'll be like that. See, it looks so funky when it's not sewn together, right? So I'm going to take 1 block's worth off. I'm going to show you how to make 1 block, 3 and 4, and then 1 of these. So we're going to put 1 of these down, and we're going to lay this on the top side of it right here, lining it up like this. So here is my black diamond, and then the other part of that piece is hanging off of it. We're going to go ahead and sew with our 1/4 inch seam, which I'm going to make sure to measure out before I sew, because I definitely want my 1/4 inch seam to be, what's that sound? Oh, it's falling again. I was like, what is that weird sound?
The bottom's the only part.
All right, I'm sewing with a stitch length of 2 millimeters, and then it tells me to press this towards the black. Okay, so then you have a funky unit that looks like this, and I'm finger pressed towards the black, but now we're going to trim this off. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and trim right here and right here. I'm going to move everything out of the way so that you can see the trimming, since you can kind of see right here as well. We're going to go ahead and bring this right here, and I'm going to just line my ruler up with it right there on the edge. I'm going to trim that, turn it, line ruler up with the edge like this, and trim that. So there I have a nice, lovely piece. So now I need to add this piece on this side. Is it this side? No, it's this side right here. I'm trying to make sure, because the diagrams, I don't like diagrams. They're wonky for me. Okay, it's going on this side right here, because it's backwards. I have this piece. Make it like the picture. Make it like the picture. Right here. And that goes here. Okay, so we're going to stick this on. It barely comes over on this side. So it's on that edge. And then it sticks out on the other side. Right there. And there should be plenty of wiggle room. Now I'm going to sew that. And again, pressing towards the black. And then we're going to take it and trim it. Right here. And then turn it and trim it right here. Just like that. Okay, so now I have a 1/2 diamond kind of piece. And then I'm going to take piece C, B, A, C, B, right? Yeah, the smaller one right here on this side, right? I'm making sure, because, you know, oh, and it comes down this way right here. So it's going to go on here like this. Right, sides together. I'm going to make sure that I come towards the end here, come towards the point there, and now I'm going to sew it. Everything is nice and equal. So I'm building on all 4 sides. It also says to press this in towards the center, towards my black. Now I'm going to go ahead and trim that. I'm just finger pressing for now. It'll, since it's batiks and I starched, it's laying pretty nice, you know. So I'm going to trim that nice and straight, lining it up with the previous part. And see, I can use these pieces right here, mixed with another one this size, and actually make little blocks. So I don't throw any of this out. Right, lay this on here. It should come right to that edge. If you pieced it right, you should have it right to the tippy point of, again, that piece. So now I have this piece right here, and then it wants us to line it up on the bottom right here. So it's going to go on the bottom right there. So I'm going to touch the bottom to this bottom, and the top is going to have lots of hangover, and everything's nicely lined up, and I'm going to sew on this side. And I'm going to try to keep my seams folded in. And then I'm going to again press this in towards the dark. And now, this is the part where I would say press it first, then trim, but I'm just going to go ahead and trim it and cut.
I can start pressing.
Well, it's just one for now because I'm going to chain piece the whole lot of everything.
Okay.
So I'm going to make this nice and straight here.
We have room now.
And then make this nice and straight here. And then I guess I'm cutting off this side to be my size, I think. Hold on. I gotta read the directions real quick. And I need my glasses because it's kind of blurry. Because it's showing the ruler on here. Let's see. Lay strip on top, blah, blah, blah. Mark C, so in. Using the C mark on the strip edge, top knee. Using log trim. The side of B. B is, what is B? B. Is that one, okay. Okay, so it didn't have you trim with every part. I trimmed with every part. Let's see what size. This is supposed to be this size, and it's missing its whole tip, so I don't think it was right. Oh yeah, see, it is trimmed to size right here. This whole side gets cut off. Okay. Yep, so I have to trim it. After it's pressed, I'm going to be trimming one of the sides off. And then that will be my block. So you can see it's missing some because it has you trim after. Where'd that other page just go? Right here. So it has you building them on, then trimming. Which is kind of weird, but I'm just going to build them on and then trim, I guess. And then press and trim the rest of it to size. Okay, so that's one block. Obviously, I trimmed in advance, but we're just going to go ahead and chain piece all these on here now. It's showing the diamond, and I'm going to keep them in order. This is how I chain piece. So the diamond, move all that out of the way. It's going to make a nice pile right here. On the bottom side, right here, just like that. So again, I'm going to look at my diagram and go, oh, hey. It's not that way. Literally, I'm going to put the piece there and put this piece here. That's wrong. Okay, so it goes on the top side. Bottom, top. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put them all through just like this. I'm just going to go one right after the other, lining it up right here at the top. When I get to the bottom, I just veer away.
How in the world can you work with angles but be weary of curves?
It's not curves that I'm scared of. I've done plenty of curves. It's the pieced curves with lots of little pieces. That's what is stopping my brain from, actually doing the project yet. Because it's piecing and then making the curves. I have a feeling I'm going to be wasting so much fabric doing it, and I definitely don't like to waste fabric. That's my other kind of thing. I don't like quilts that waste a lot of fabric. And I use the leftovers typically to make things, but I don't like a bunch of, tiny little 1/2-inch cutoffs and crooked pieces there. And, I'm weird about that, I guess, is the word for it. I'm just veering off the end, by the way, with these. So I'm literally sewing it through like this, and then just going off the edge. I'm just lining them up until this whole stack is done. And I'm going to take a drink of water. Come on. Fresh pieces always stick to each other. Ah, there we go. Come on. I love doing this. Just chain piecing away. Just like this. Over and over.
You want me to start ironing this stuff off?
No, don't even worry about it. That's fine. So I'm going to go to the top of the start color again, and then chain piece that second part on. So that would be 24 pieces that I have chain pieced. I'm almost to that top one to start over again. Is that this one? Or is that one? It's that one. Talking to myself here just to make sure. This one is the same as that. Yep. Okay. So I'm going to do this many pieces for now. That way I can do the next set. All right. So now I'm going to get me a snippy separatory thing. And I'm going to keep them in order like this, so that my next pieces are in order. I'm going to move these out of the way for now. Huh? I can't tell them the size. I can't give any measurements out.
How many total blocks?
Oh, how many total blocks? 100 and something. Because I'm making the venti size, which is the biggest one. All right. So now I'm going to take, what were these for? Why are these separated? Was this from the bottom? Oh, you know what? That's from the bottom. When I picked them up and put them down. Yeah, okay. And now I need to take this pile right here. And then we're going to do figure B. So it has it pressed towards the back, right? Black like this. And then it shows me right here on this side. So it does have you trim them off. See, why does it say that on the last page? You know, oh, da, 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 da. You know, it's dumb. So I'm just gonna finger press towards the black and trim it off. Finger press towards the back, black color, and trim it off. So I just gotta do this a bazillion times. But that's fine. Oops, towards the black. And yes, I'm just going to finger press at this point because, you know. Take it all to the iron. Oops, let's cut that off first. Could take it all to the iron, but I'm not in the mood. I'm just going to do it this way. And if my quilt is not perfect, that's okay, because guess what? I could trim things down and make it nice if I need to. Just following the dumb diagram. But I'm only doing 24 pieces at a time. All right, a couple more to do the finger press and trim this first part off. And then we'll move on to that next part. Oops.
What are you using to cut?
I am using a Martelli rotary cutter to cut. All right, these, which can be found at the link that Scott has put in the chat. All right. Now it says, we're just going to go this way. It says to put this one on right here and leave a little bit hanging over up here, like this. Okay. Oops, that's not the right color. That's not the right color either. Did I go one too far? I don't know, but that's the top. So we're just going to go right here. I may have put too many pieces on here. But that's okay. All right, grab the next one. Grab the next one. They should all be in order from me doing this, by the way. Just hangs over a tadpole bit. It's a little tiny bit. When I put the next piece on, it hangs over up here, but the end hangs off the most. Oops, I did not mean to do that. Tiny hang. Oh, and I'm out of bobbin anyway. Let's put a bobbin in there real quick. I pre-rolled black bobbins because I figured out I'd been sewing a long time ago, but I guess not. All right. I guess that's the piece that goes there. Doesn't look like it, but it is. Come on. The only thing about batiks is they're kind of they're thinner than regular cotton. So you can struggle to separate them when they're stacked on top of each other. I think all the next rounds that I do, I'm going to probably press in between each add-on when I do the next round of this.
What's a reasonable price for batik fabric?
What's a what?
Reasonable price for batik fabric.
What is a reasonable price for batik fabric? Well, basically everywhere they're between $10.99 and $13.99 a yard. There are some places though that are a little bit more outrageous than that in the price range, but most places that I've been to or online shops, I mean, it's between 10 and 13 a yard. You can go to Hobby Lobby though and get batiks for $11.99 a yard, but that's still within the 10 to 13 range. And then, so yeah, when they do their D-stashes, you can get batiks for like $6.99 a yard or $6 a yard or something like that on their page, on their thing. Marshall Dry Goods, I think, is the same price as everywhere else for batiks, honestly. Maybe like $8. BATIK. There might be some places you can find it cheaper or sales at the local quilt store.
Marshall Dry Goods is $8 a yard.
Oh, yeah, good. See, $8 a yard at Marshall Dry Goods. I don't think you get all the exact designer lines from Marshall Dry Goods. They do have it in the regular cottons. I'm not 100% on the batiks, though. Walmart has them too, but they're like $11.95 at Walmart.
Does it shrink?
Yeah, it shrinks a little. Just like any other cotton. It's cotton. It's just tighter woven and hand pressed cotton. Okay, I don't know how I have an extra piece. Everything matched up. Was this extra piece like from the bottom or something? I have no idea. Or maybe, aha, that's what it was. Okay, okay. I didn't grab it. I missed a piece. Check that out. Smarty Tiffy. All right, now I sewed all those on. Alrighty, keep them in order. Blah, blah, blah.
Fat Quarter Shop has a flash sale today. Batik layer cakes, 10-inch square for $20.
Oh, wow. Fat Quarter Shop has batik layer cakes for $20 today on a flash sale. You can go on Missouri Star. They have sales all the time too, or the daily deals. You got to sign up for newsletters, people. The more newsletters for the more companies, the more chances you have of getting good deals. Problem is the shipping is still going to be the same. You still have to buy $50 or more to get free shipping most places. Some places are $100 for free shipping. But most that we've ordered from are $50 or more.
Dry Goods is $80.
Yeah, Marshall Dry Goods is $80, but that's on the buying the big stuff. On the regular retail side, it's probably not that.
Walmart's $35.
Yeah, Walmart, you got to buy $35 worth.
Oh, it depends on where you go.
Yep. All right, that was the top. All right, I'm just going to set it right there for now. Technically, I can just do this like that, and that puts them from top to bottom. Yeah, I definitely should press between each one of these because it wants it pressed towards the center, which gives a seam right here. When you press it towards this, it puts a little bit of bulk there. So the iron is probably a smarter idea than me just finger pressing everything, but I'm just trying to do it all while sitting right here. All right, once I get all these on, then it's to piece C and then piece D. Problem is I think I want to iron at this point, and I'm already coming up on my 2 hours of being on. So I'll probably piece the rest of these off camera and then just start over on the next one. I'll leave some to piece for the next video so that I can do whole blocks in one video. But I'll get like 90% of them pieced off camera. That way you guys can work on it off camera too. Or off sew along, you know, because this is technically a sew along with me. Well, those of you that want to do it with me. All right. A few more. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and, even though I finger press these, I'm going to press everything. And I'm going to do that off camera, or Scott's going to press it for me while I continue to work. But I'm going to try to keep everything in order. That way I can add the C piece like I did with this block right here. So then I'm going to add the smaller piece and then the larger piece. And then I will trim all those excesses like it says on the chart all the way the rest of the way around. And that way I can have my point for my piece right here. But it looks like I'll be cutting off like almost an inch on this side. So that's going to give me more towards my scraps. So everything is now back in order again. Look at that. See, so if I do these little piles at a time, just grab to that next one, and then I can keep everything in order. So I'm making the Diamond Detour quilt. You can get the link for it, and then next Breakfast at Tiffany's is, I don't know what day. It's on the third Thursday of the month.
So not next Thursday.
So not next Thursday, but the following Thursday, which would be the 16th. So May 16th, we will be putting this the rest of the way together, because then we can start laying it out on the design wall and start putting them together. So I'll save some blocks to piece next time, but most of it I'm going to do off camera because this is a lot to piece. I'm doing a large venti size. Some of you might got the pattern and are doing a smaller size, and that's okay. So we'll just continue on next time. I'm going to get these pressed and do all that and follow along the pattern. Do it correct. There are diagrams. Just lay things the way you see the diagram. It makes it easier. It is really easy to follow this pattern. I mean, it's not horrible. So it's going to get it done, and it's going to be super beautiful because I love purple batiks, and mixed with the blue. Oh, it looks amazing. So
what's the best way to stop your ruler slipping when cutting?
Best way to stop the ruler from slipping when cutting? Well, a long time ago, I took and put hot glue gun drops on the back on my ruler, and Tracy from the sewing channel actually redid that with a video to get them flatter by taking freezer paper, put the glue dots down, and then drop it on there and smash them out, and it gives you a non-slip grip ruler. But I did that a long time ago. You can also buy a non-slip ruler, or you can use a weight at the top of your ruler, put a weight on it. There's all sorts of things, or just when you're cutting, this is technically the right way. So say your ruler is really long and you're starting way down here. You cut, stop, adjust your hand, cut some more, stop, adjust your hand, and then cut the rest of the way. Technically, you're supposed to move your hand. I mean, the quilt police aren't going to come after you because you didn't move your hand properly, but you would hold it, cut, stop, move your hand, cut, move your hand. So that way you get equal pressure and it keeps it from moving that whole entire time. And if you're like me and have the shakes, and as soon as you let go, your ruler slips anyway, well, I don't know what to tell you. I know a couple people that take their ring finger and their pinky finger and keep those on the table and only use the pressure of the palm of their hand and their first fingers like this on their rulers so that it doesn't go anywhere because your fingers are holding it in the right spot. I mean, there's tons of ways. You just have to get used to using your ruler and your rotary cutter. So, any other questions?
Yeah, is this pattern a bit fiddly or not terribly bad?
No, I don't see no fiddly parts. The only thing that's fiddly is if these were colored pictures, I think it would have been easier for me to line it up, but my brain sees color. My brain doesn't see black and white. But no, I think it's quite easy. I mean, there's a diagram how to cut. The cutting measurements for all the sizes are on here, what you need to cut, and everything's laid out. You even get a template. It gives you the layout for the grande size, but it's put together in that same manner, which is what I'm going to be showing you throughout this couple of videos that it takes to make this, is how it, is sewn together, because it is on a diagonal. It's a 60 degree, and it's a lot different than most patterns, but I'm 100% confident a confident beginner can make this. Like, no problem. I mean, it's not that hard. So, anyways, all right, guys. Well, I'm going to get going, and I need to take my beautiful hair out and see how it turns out, which I doubt it's going to be good because the last time I did it, I had no curls. My hair does not curl, even with a curling iron. I don't even know why I keep buying these stupid products, but it was on sale at the 99-cent store, and because they closed, and I got it for super cheap, and I was like, Scotty, let's do the heatless. Maybe that'll work in my hair. So we'll see. Anyways, guys, have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will see you guys on Sunday for Sew Sunday, where I am still working on a baby clothes quilt. So talk to y'all later. Bye. 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 Bye.